You've gotta love irony. Yesterday, I recorded a meditation that I wanted to share with you to help you process, acknowledge, allow, and work through the emotion of anger. Well, I went to upload it today and it didn't have any audio. And the irony in that is that after I recorded that meditation, a very big situation came up in my life that triggered of quite a bit of anger. And so I had to practice my own medicine. I had to do some of the exercises that I'm about to share with you for myself again. And that's okay. Probably a good thing. Today's meditation is probably going to be better because I have been in the process of allowing, acknowledging, not judging myself for feeling anger today, and working through it. And I want to help you do the same while I am processing through it myself. I will say that I feel much lighter after doing some of these exercises I'm about to share with you. With that being said, I want to invite you simply to close your eyes for a moment and get in tune with yourself. And I invite you to acknowledge a situation or a person for whom or with which you feel anger currently, right now. And as you are tapping into that anger, I invite you to notice where you feel it in your body. Observe whether or not this situation brings up other emotions along with anger. Perhaps disappointment, betrayal, anything else like that. And if you happen to be an empath, you might have an extra difficult time allowing yourself to be with the emotion of anger. It's like one of those unacceptable emotions for empaths to be feeling angry. There's something really interesting about anger. Years ago, I believe it was a psychiatrist, his last name was Hawkins, he came up with a map of consciousness. And it's as part of that map of consciousness, there's a scale of emotions. At the very top of the scale is something like total pure enlightenment. And at the very bottom of the scale are the emotions of guilt and shame. Guilt and shame keep us totally stuck and immobilized. Anger is approaching the middle of that emotional scale. And what I actually like about anger is that anger can be a motivating emotion. When we allow anger, not get stuck in it, not let it smolder into a raging fire, but when we allow it, acknowledge it, we can take that energy it creates and put it into action, put it to good use. But before we do that, I think it's important to just go, all right, I am not judging myself for feeling anger. I allow it. And I allow myself to learn the lessons that are in this experience of anger. And I allow myself to turn it into something positive, positive momentum, positive change. What I'd like to do is I'd like to show you some energy points on the body that help us process and work with anger. These energy points come from traditional Chinese medicine and relate to the liver. There's a few points on the body that relate to the liver, but I'm going to use the ones on the hands. So if you go about halfway on the palm of each hand, halfway between the pinky knuckle and the base of the palm, on the side of the hand, side of the palm, right about halfway between pinky knuckle and base of the palm, is an energy point for the liver. You can press that on each, the left and right hand, and just notice, is it tender? Is it sore? Is it painful? And these energy points of the liver help us process and work through the emotion of anger. In a moment, I want to give you options. We're going to be pressing these points. You can either alternate back and forth between the two palms, using your thumb, opposite thumb, to press that point, or you can simply align those 2 points on each palm, halfway between the pinky knuckle and the base of the palm, and just rub those 2 points together on the left and right palm. The first thing I'd like to do before we do those points is just close your eyes. Tap back into that emotion of anger. Observe where you feel it in the body. And emotions are a bit like a coin. They have two sides. If one side is anger, the other side is laughter. So I invite you to also now acknowledge something fairly recently that brought you some laughter, something that was very humorous, something that just lightened the mood and the energy. You might not be feeling laughter in this moment, but remember what it felt like. And breathe into that feeling for just a moment. Beautiful. Now, either alternating between the left and right palms, going back and forth to press on that liver point halfway between the pinky knuckle and the base of the palm, on the palm itself, or you can press those 2 points together on the left and right palm. Just align them and press them together. I invite you to keep pressing, and we're going to take a deep breath into the emotion of anger in the body and sigh it out. Deep breath in again to wherever you feel anger residing in the physical body. Sigh it out. Breathe into angry thoughts. Angry thoughts. And big sigh out as you continue pressing those liver energy points. Breathe into anywhere anger might be in your energy field, your aura. Sigh it out as you continue pressing those liver points. Beautiful. With your eyes closed, I invite you to go within. There is a deep and wise knowing that comes from your own soul. When we get still, when we seek it out, we can hear it, we can feel it, we can sense it. When we're busy, when we're stressed, we don't tend to pay attention to it. But in a place of stillness, we can hear that wise guidance of the soul. The soul does not judge. The ego does, but the soul does not judge. But it will illuminate truth. I invite your soul to speak to you about this situation or this person that you're feeling anger about now. And I ask that your soul start to spell out in a way that you can consciously understand what the opportunity is here to learn and what the opportunity is here for growth and momentum. Without judgment, without shame, just feeling. Now I ask your soul if there are any action steps you can take to move forward so that you're not avoiding the anger, so that you're not smoldering in it, but you're turning it into positive action. Take a moment to feel what is a clear step you feel guided to take to turn this into a positive. All right. Now I invite you to join me. You can either do it silently in your own heart and mind or out loud. Join me in a statement that helps us move forward and not be stuck in anger, but move into a state of freedom, liberation from the overwhelming grip of anger. And that statement is, my direction is clear. And I invite you to take a deep, deep breath into the belly with your eyes closed. And on the exhale, join me in this statement. My direction is clear. Another deep breath in. My direction is clear. And one more deep breath in. My direction is clear. When you feel ready, I invite you to open your eyes. This meditation wasn't necessarily meant to be a full-on comprehensive get rid of the anger forever and ever, but it was an ability to help you lighten that emotional load so that you can do the inner work that's needed now. I want to share a couple of techniques with you that I find very, very, very helpful. There is a very simple breath from yoga that's called lion's breath, and it's great when you're letting something go, when something's really intense, getting heat out of the body, getting tough emotion like anger out of the body. It simply is a deep belly breath in through the nose. Then you stick your tongue out and roar like a lion. Or you can hiss. Deep belly breath in. Stick the tongue out and let it go. That I find helpful. I find that especially helpful if I'm driving and someone cuts me off on the freeway. Roll the window down, do some lion's breaths, let it go, and then roll the window back up and go on with my day. There's a couple of other techniques. When something really is triggering, we do need some extra reflection on it to be able to fully process it. I am a huge fan of writing pen to paper, much more so than typing on a keyboard, actually pen to paper writing. And this is what I recommend. If you've really felt intense anger, especially at someone else or even yourself, there is an exercise that is so effective for helping to release that pressure valve and actually help us get fully through processing it. The first part of this exercise is writing a letter to the person with whom you feel angry, whether it's someone else or yourself. And in that letter, you're not giving that letter to them, so you hold nothing back. If you need to call names, you call names. If you need to point a finger and say nasty things, you point a finger and say nasty things. You get it all out. You hold nothing back. And when you've written as much as you need to write, you go back and read it and make sure you got it all out. And if you feel like, okay, I got it all expressed, then I highly encourage that you destroy that letter. Whether that's shredding it in a shredder, cutting it into little pieces and flushing it, or my favorite is burn it in the kitchen sink, carefully, of course, and then let it burn down to total ash, and then wash all those ashes down the drain. That's my personal favorite method for doing it. But that is a very helpful technique to get all that energy of anger and all that emotion and all those thoughts out of your being and onto the paper. There's another step you can take that I recommend doing on a separate day from writing the angry letter. And that separate piece is writing a letter of compassion and understanding. Not excusing or letting anyone off the hook, but just compassion and understanding for trying to see things from the other person's perspective. If it's someone that someone else that you feel angry with, or if it's yourself, compassion for yourself. Again, not about excusing, but compassion, understanding, trying to see things from a new and different perspective. That helps to really bring this processing of anger to much more completion. I want to thank you for joining me in this reflection and little talk about anger. There's always going to be emotions that come up, but emotions are like the check engine light on your car dashboard. They're just saying, hey, there's something that needs attention, needs processing, needs to be dealt with. The challenge arises when we try to stuff it or ignore it or let it burn out of control rather than processing through it. I hope this has been helpful. I'd love to hear from you if it has been. Many blessings until next time.